Hello, and thank you for checking out Whisper CRM. It is intended to be basic, easy, and simple to use, aimed at a team of one or two people looking to keep all of their information in one handy spot, such as Notion. So, digging into the first section, this is the how to get there quickly banner. So, I've got some useful shortcuts. This just links out to these sections below, but if you get them all open, it's going to save you some scrolling. You know exactly where you need to go. Quick actions and jump to databases. So there's four databases behind Whisper CRM, or this basic version at least. Comms, people, companies, and deals. So the way that I think of it is there's the communications that you have with the people that work at the companies that you're trying to get sales cycles with, right? So everything kind of falls into those four categories. So if we jump right into step one, plan your day. When we open up plan your day, there is the first view is going to show you all the tasks or comms that you have set for today or that you have set for prior days and they're not yet completed. Those are going to show up here for you. You can open up and get to them. There is, of course, a update to done button so that if you're just in this view and you want to mark them as done, you can do that right here as well. And this week to give you kind of a bigger picture of what else is happening. And you can link that, of course, to your Notion calendar, which, of course, you can link to Gmail or many other options. So this will give you kind of a quick glimpse of what you got going on today and this week. So after you've taken in what your day looks like, let's review your pipeline. Identify any deals that are closing. So in the next 30 days or prior, and if you want to see just the prior ones, which this one is, it's on the expired close dates. But closing in the next 30 days, you're going to see them. You're going to see what's checked off in the readiness checklist, which I'll show you here in a bit. And you can open them up and they will drop you on a details page. And so you can see the company, the type of deal that it is. You can pick from new business, upsell, cross sell, renewal. You're going to drop an amount, give it a close date. I've got some deal sources in here because we all like to track things. So the more we track, the more we know. Some next steps is another thing. So here's that deal readiness checklist. So I can just check things off as I know them. These pages aren't locked, so I can make any notes that I want as well. If I want to see any people that are associated with this deal, they are on that other tab. When I'm ready to win the deal, there's a button to be able to do that. And if I wanted to auto name, which this one is, you just need to fill in some of the information on the deal and it'll do it for you. So I'll show that after as well. And back to step two, the next graph is deals closed by close month, sorry, and stage. So it's going to show you the deals by the close date that's marked in them, the amounts, and then it's going to be broken down by stage so you can kind of see if things are falling out of place and need to be moved or updated. So pipeline by stage, this is just going to show you all the deals with some cards, with some quick pieces, and it's going to be totaling them so you can see how much you have by stage. If you don't happen to see this graph, by the way, free Notion edition will allow you one graph. So if you already have a graph, some results, and you're on the free version, you might not see this graph here. That's okay. You can either remove the other one that you're using to free this one up, or you can remove this one if you find the other graph you already have more important. So that is going to close up step. All right, so you've had a look at what your day looks like. You've reviewed your pipeline. Next is step three, work your leads. The first view is going to show you all of your new status leads. So these are contacts that have a lead stage of new, and they're going to be shown here for you. This one is highlighted because he's missing info, and we have a whole other tab for that as well. And then your lead pipeline, this is going to show you everything that you have a lead status assigned to, and it's going to drop you with the cards with the key details, and you can, of course, click to open any of the contacts. So if I open her up full page, Skylar, she's in a working stage. I've got some buttons here to log a call or convert a lead. We'll go over those in a second, but the details are pretty basic. The more you enter, the more you can report on. There's a qualification checklist, so you can kind of check things and make notes on them as you go. The pages are not locked. You'll see any communications that you've already had are going to be listed over here. Then you can have a look at them. Any deals that Skylar is associated with are going to be over here. If I wanted to log a call, I could do that here. There's a naming convention. You could certainly change that to anything else you'd like. You can mark in anything you like. Give that a save. Now she's got 2 communications there. Converter. So if I convert this lead, that's going to change the status to working, from working, sorry, to qualified, and it's going to make a deal record, and it's going to link everything over for us. So that's kind of magical. Should save you some time. Prospect companies. So after you've run out of individuals to follow up with, here's some companies to follow up with. All the companies you have listed as prospect with some key information so you can know kind of who to go after first or to prioritize. I've also brought in the churned and the lost companies. The difference between these two, and you can hover over the company's records to see more information on this particular field. But I'm using lost for when you've lost a deal, and I'm using churn for when the deal that you lost was from a customer. So you can lose a prospect and you churn a customer. And that's kind of the difference in this pink and red color. And prospects are purple. This color theme is going to continue throughout. You're going to see it later in a map. So I'm going to close up step 3. And I'm ready to, my favorite part, go tidy my CRM, step 4. So in step 4, it's going to highlight anything. It's in bright red, so you don't miss these things. And there's different views, but any of those objects that we're using, those kind of 4 databases, if any of the records that you've entered in them are missing details, they're going to show up here. So if you get in the habit of daily, having a quick view, nothing here, great. Oh, look, I've got a couple here. And what's missing is pretty obvious in the views. So I know I'm missing an email and a company. And John Smith without a company, like, it's not going to be good for reporting, gosh. And communications, same thing. And they're highlighted here when they're missing certain information as well. So the type is missing on this particular one and this blank one as well. So I'd be like, oh, what's that? And I could check it out and clean it up real quick. And then down here, we've got neglected or stalled. So neglected leads, just hover if you're curious what filters are applied, but the stage without any communications, a lead stage that is active. So somebody that you're prospecting, but there's been no communication with them in the last 30 days. Or neglected customers. So somebody that they're a customer and you haven't even reached out and said hello in 30 days. Like, love your customers. Stalled deals. Again, that deal has been sitting untouched for 30 days. And if it's in the pipeline, we should probably be following up or reminding them that we love them, whatever the scenario. And so that would cover step 4, tidy your room. And moving on to step 5, stay close to your customers because, right, we love them. So this is a quick view of all of your customers with some quick cards and some quick information. I've laid them out by industry, and at a glimpse, you can see like what employee bucket they fall into when you last followed up with them. Click out to their website, check things out. So here's all your customers, so you can look for any themes with those kind of basic information to maybe help adjust your ICP when needed. One by source, this is again going to be handy as well because it's going to bring in all the deals that you've won with all the sources. So if you're tracking it, you're going to get the benefit here. So how much money is coming in from those sources so you can determine ROI. And then I've broken that down by the business type as well. So maybe you want to bring in more expansions or upgrades, then you could see which sources are bringing those in and you could crank your efforts in those directions. I'm going to open up a company record real quick. And so I'll even open it back. So here's Guy ChemWorks, basic details, some of the ICP details that we're tracking, system info, not really too relevant. If I wanted to change this stage, I could do so here. If I wanted to create more people that work at this company, I've got a button to make that easier that pre-fills some information if you use it. You've got some roll-ups happening over here. And then so under people, as I add more people here, they're going to show up. If I use that new person button, they would then show up here. Any deals associated to the company is going to be over here, laid out by stage. And then if there's any child companies for the account, they're going to show up there as well. So I'm going to head back to the home page. It's got a little house, so you remember how to find it. And I'm going to close up step 5. Company map. I like the colors and I like it visually. So if you remember who's a prospect and what is lost and what is churned, these colors are going to tell you. You could always click on them as well. I am viewing this in dark mode as well. So if you see things differently, that would be why. And with that, That would be the super quick tour. I will now go ahead and create one of each of those records for anyone that wants to go a little more in depth, just to show what to fill out and why certain things are there. So I guess I'll start at the start, which is a company. So I'll go ahead and create a new company, and we will call it Jimmy's Place. And we are going to make them a prospect, which it defaults to. So let's fill in some of the details. Oh, I know their phone number, and they are actually a subsidiary of Blue Sky Chemicals, and they sell widgets. And right here, they have, let's say 58 employees. As I fill out this number, the bucket number is going to fill out for me so that you can have that for reporting. Industries, there's a bunch there already for you. You can grab one. If you see the revenue on LinkedIn or anywhere, grab that. If you know the address, look, they're in Germany. That's where we'll put them. And I've got a company. So now if I wanted to create a person at this company, I could do that. So many different ways you could have clicked through. I'm gonna go big. And so the person's name is, if I could double click, Jane Black. Oh, and I'm over on the comms tab. I'm gonna flip back to the details tab. And so her email is, here we go, Jane at jimmys.com. Oh, that's not gonna work, is it? Jimmys.com, and then her title, she is head cashier, and so that would put her seniority level. Again, you don't have to fill all this stuff out, but the more you fill out, the more information you're going to have later. The more benefit of having all this tracking, right? You can spit out things that are going to help you make money faster, easier. Qualification checklist. So if you have any of these things, you can check them off. You can also make notes on the pages directly so that you have them. Nothing is locked. I can then, if there was any communications or deals for Jane, they would be here, but we just created her, so we know there's not. So let's go ahead and log communication. So it auto named it for us and it put it to done, which is great. If you use this button to update it to done, it'll fill in this completed date for you, which is kind of handy and used for reporting. Information, she is upset with her brother. No idea how that's relevant, but let's just keep pretend filling things out. And there, so that's great. Everything's logged. I've got all these roll-ups here now. Oops, we do need that part. And so if I go back to Jane and go to communications, I now see that we had that call with her. If I have currently no deals, so let's try the convert a lead button. And am I ready? Like it's going to ask and confirm because it does quite a little bit in this button. So yeah, let's make sure. Deal name here. I'm not big on coming up with names. So I'm going to use a button for that. And to use the button, I need to fill in some basic details. Now it's dropped me on the people page because that's where I was last. So I'm going to flip over here to details. And the type, I'm going to say it's an upsell and it's for 25,000 and customer referral. We are going to chat next Friday. And maybe I've got some information down here and I can add that if I wanted to. That auto name button that I mentioned, now if I use it, it's going to automatically fill in the company, the type, and the close date. So if you make any changes to those, just hit the button again to rename it. If I wanted to win the deal, I could use that button and it would automatically make some other changes for me as well, instead of just making it stage change here. So we just created a contact and communication and a deal and started with a company. So we just created one of all four. Simple and as easy as that. And then you can go back to your home dashboard. So here's those quick buttons. So you can create new ones, jump directly to the databases, or continue on throughout your steps. So I really do hope you find this helpful and more to come. Bye.